So the first and most fundamental guard pass that we can use off of this floating position is simply stepping over our partner's leg into the mount. What's the condition that makes this possible? First, we're going to gain a species of inside control where we take our knee over our partner's leg. Okay, it's going to be a straight hamstring position. We'll enter that standing with a seated partner. Then from there, we're going to take advantage of our partner's natural inclination to use their remaining hook to lift. When they go to start to lift, your partner is going to have a bit of a decision to make. If they keep their knees tight and connected to their chest, it's a smarter defensive move. If they go to lift and create some form of off balance, it's not wrong, but it involves them lifting and taking their leg out away from their chest. When that happens, we often have an opportunity to step over it, and we can go from there directly into the mount. Or if you can't get all the way to the mount, you'll be able to get into a kind of a 3/4 mount situation, which is much easier for you to pass from. Let's take a look at how this is going to happen. So we approach our partner who's seated as they usually are, and we play the same sort of positional game that we've been working on. We start with good posture, head low. We put our hand here to get our partner a little bit out of balance, and then we're going to step our right leg to the inside position. Instead of going across to our partner's cross hamstring, we're going to take this leg and step it to a straight hamstring. We're going to bring our shin here to our partner's leg. Once we're here, we're going to drive this leg forward, and we're going to exaggerate our hand position. So oftentimes when we're playing this position with our partner's leg getting pinned by our shin, the straight hamstring, we play with our weight back here by our partner's hips. In this case, because the goal is to lighten our legs, we're going to take our hands and we're going to place them up above the line of our partner's shoulders, ideally up here somewhere by their ears. Okay, what we can't do is have our hands below their shoulders, okay, even at or below their shoulders. The reason is because it's harder for us to unweight our hips and our legs in the way that we need to when our hands are here. Okay, the same thing, it's kind of goes doubly true if our hands are way too low. Now Chris has an opportunity to take his own inside position, and it's going to be really hard to float from here. So we take our hands and we bring them high up, okay? Next, we take our hips and we bring them forward, so that we bring our left hip in particular against our partner's right leg. From here, if Chris doesn't do anything, then it's very easy for us to simply step up over the top. But usually what's going to happen here is your partner is going to start to use this leg actively, and they'll often try to lift you. So once we feel this happening, we're just going to take our left knee forward and step and slide directly into this position. Okay, you'd be surprised how often it happens. Once your weight is coming forward, your partner wants to form some sort of connection. So they use that leg to lift you, that puts you here. If you rotate real quick here, you'll see my right leg is still on the inside position. If Chris doesn't do anything, then we can actually bring our hips forward, go back again, and we can take our left leg and place it here, so that not only have we moved with our right leg on the inside, but we are able to put our shoelaces of the left leg on the inside. This position, which is a species of the mount, this kind of double inside foot position, makes it very hard for Chris to adjust. He can't really knee elbow in a meaningful way. Okay, if he tries, there's no real outside position for him to connect with. And then it also allows us to pummel our legs through into a low knee on belly, or to simply drop our hips and take our feet out, getting into a mounted position. Okay. Oftentimes, though, what will happen, rotate this way, is your partner will lock onto your foot from here. Okay, he'll get a grip, and now from this position, we have to free this leg. The key to freeing this leg is not dealing with your partner's legs first, but your partner's upper body. So we're going to put a crossface in. When we do so, we're going to focus on taking a pretty deep grip. I want to have my middle finger touching Chris's armpit on the far side. So we'll drop our chest, take a deep right hand, and we'll hold so that as Chris goes to turn to face my legs, he finds it very difficult to do so. I can use my shoulder to cross face. Now he's got his jaw facing to my left and his knees facing to the right. From here, we can simply turn, and that's going to be enough to free the leg. Okay? So from a bit of a different angle here, we start with a seated partner. Scoot back just a bit. Great. We take an inside step and drop our weight here. Then we take our hands and place them well above our partner's shoulders, ideally up here, somewhere by their ears. Then we bring our hips forward. As Chris goes to lift, we simply ride over that top leg. If he doesn't do anything, we can pummel our leg back through, heel to butt, and go double shoelaces inside. If your partner traps your leg here in preparation to knee elbow, we're going to crossface. So we lower our level. Okay, we don't want to have a shallow crossface here. We're going to lower our level, bring our chest forward, and we're going to wrap our partner's head. We take our right hand and we're going to put our middle finger in our partner's armpit on the far side. I'll show you that detail in a moment. Then from here, we use our shoulder to crossface. That's going to make it very difficult for him to maintain his connection. And then from here, we can take that foot out. When you form a crossface with your partner, here, okay, it's not good enough just to hold your partner's head. In fact, what we want to do is we want to take our chest, put it over our partner's shoulder, and take a deep grip. My right hand goes all the way around the corner until I can put my middle finger in his armpit. That's going to be enough inside position to get a good connection. If I want to make it worse for Chris, I'll pull his head across the center line. Then from here, I'll use the shoulder across the jaw to force him to release. And then from here, we're in a nice tight position. So this, in many ways, is the simplest way of dealing with, learning how to use the float pass. It requires your partner to react by lifting, but that's a very fundamental thing that tends to happen. So we approach a seated partner once again. From here, we play a hand fighting game. We post a bit, and we take a step, not a cross step here where we're driving forward, but rather a step to our partner's straight hamstring. Immediately, knees go to the floor, and you have to develop the confidence to simply take your hands and place them here. We want to have a straight back, convex body, and put some weight through our left leg on our partner's hook. As Chris goes to lift here, we're simply going to slide down the ramp of his leg, and that puts us here. Now we've got a left leg over the top and a right leg in between our partner's feet. If Chris doesn't do anything from here, I can simply take my leg out. So what he's going to do is he's going to start to trap it. Now from here, we take our chest, put it against our partner's shoulder, and hit this long, deep crossface. You can even lift your partner's head a little bit to get this important grip where you're taking your your middle finger inside the line of your partner's armpit. Now, as Chris goes to move around, I take his head offline, focus on a strong crossface, separate his legs, and then from here we can drop directly into the mounted position. Now, in some cases, you're going to feel that your partner has their knee so far forward that it's not possible to simply slide your way over the top. In a case like this, we're going to make use of the front pommel. Front pommel is an ideal tool to take our foot around the corner, get it to our partner's hip, and then from there proceed. So, from any situation where we step, drive, put our knee on the floor, bring our weight forward, and bring our hips into position. As your partner goes to lift you here, you feel like, you know what, I'm not able to simply slide up over the top. He's lifting, but he's not lifting enough so that he has a straight leg. If Chris lifts so much that he has a straight leg, my leg will simply slide down. But if there's a bend in that leg here, or if he's got his elbow and his knee tighter together here, I won't be able to just move forward. This is an ideal time for us to join elbow and knee, for us to bring our left leg as high as we can, round our body slightly, and then focus on taking our heel to the pocket of his hip. Again, you don't have to be crazy flexible to do this. Okay, I'm not bringing my heel up to my shoulder. Chris is lifting, so already the hip is kind of turning slightly. We're going to slide our knee as high as we can, and then we're going to simply take our heel to the front of our partner's hip. Once we do this, now our left knee can travel up over the top, since we have that purchase, and we can slide our left foot down. From this position, we're going to take double inside shoelaces. Now from here, you can gather your partner's head, come up, gather your partner's arm for the underhook, drop your hips, and then it's all about coming through into the mount. So we'll show this from the reverse angle. We start by stepping, committing a right knee, and two hands. Your partner's reaction is to lift, but they've got good elbow-knee connection. So we round our body slightly, keep lifting, lifting. We take our left leg through, and look how the knee slides up, and the heel steps. Once the heel is here, we can use that to push and bring our knee forward. Pummel our leg to the inside. This time we've got double shoelaces. And now from here, you can start to gather your partner's head, gather the underhook, and you're ready to start to pass. You can go directly to the mount or into knee on belly. So, entry, weight distribution, posture. Once we're there, we read our partner's reaction. The first reaction is your partner lifting here. The straight leg allows you to simply drop. An extended leg May not allow you to drop all the way, but it gives you an opportunity to keep your weight on your hands. And because your leg is a little bit light, you can hit that front pummel and move right past your partner's guard.